What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning to another episode of Bright on Cue Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Logan Chestnut, Small Batch Barbecue. And tonight, man, you are blessed because you're hanging out with me and only me. That's right. No one else is here. The boys left me alone to myself. So hopefully I don't screw this thing up. See if I remember how to do this. But yeah, man, hope you guys have had a great week. I am still on the barbecue dry spell. I'm jealous to all you dear people out there in the barbecue world who are still cooking, still kicking ass, still enjoying this lovely rainy weather we're having this year here in the Southeast. And I want to give a shout out. Like I said, we lost a living legend here recently. So I definitely want to give him a shout out. Enrico, gosh, this is terrible. I'm having a brain fart. Lord, what's wrong with me, man? Like I said, the boys leave me alone, and I bring it up. Gosh, I want to bring it up in a second, and I want to quit looking like an asshole. But I want to. I'll give him a shout out because I hate that we lost him. He's one of the greatest cooks out there, and it has been that's a big loss in the barbecue community. So y'all don't roast me too bad because I'm having a brain fart and it's killing me right now. I'm sure our guest tonight will still remind me and help me. Like I said, I literally just got home. Nashville traffic during rush hour is horrendous, so I am all discombobulated. So forgive me for any of my brain farts, whichever there will be many. So yeah. So like I said, our guest tonight is a guy who's thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Yes. Man, or Eric Cole gosh, I can't pronounce his name, but from Uncle Pig's Barbecue. Man's a living legend, stud. Prayers out to their family. I met him a couple years ago. Was super nice guy. Was killing it on the circuit. So it's a big loss in the barbecue community. But forgive me for my brain farts. It happens with me. It's old age. But yeah, man. So back on track for tonight's guest. I am very excited to have this man on. He has helped hundreds of people in the barbecue community make those beautiful little chicken pillows. And then he has also kicked many people's butts in the barbecue community on the competition trail, man. He has possibly I'll say he's top 5, top 10 best barbecue competition names on the circuit, in my opinions. And this barbecue game, don't get any cheaper. I may start my own little Only Cans page. So without further ado, let's bring on a man from Illinois, Mr. Ryan. How you say it? Sudam?
Sudam, yeah.
Sudam. Nice, man. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on the show, dude. Sorry for
no problem.
Brain farts. How do you pronounce Uncle Big name? Is it Arico or
it's Urkel?
Urkel. God, dude, yep. Terrible.
That's how I tell you. Yeah, I met him at the Jack 2 years ago when we were there.
Yeah, no, man. Like I said, he is a monster cook and an even better guy. So big loss in the barbecue community. We also lost Theo Huxtable. I saw he died today in a drowning accident in Costa Rica. That's terrible, man.
Damn.
But anywho, man, back to barbecue. Man, Ryan, thank you so much for coming on, dude. And like I said, man, one of the coolest names on the barbecue circuit, Only Cans. When I saw that, I was like, that is perfect. So yeah, man, for the people who don't know you, kind of give us, the ticker tat, summary of who you are and how you got started in this game.
Yeah, like you said, I'm Ryan Sudam. I'm from Illinois. I've been cooking competition barbecue since about 19, pre-COVID, right before COVID started. I cooked with a team called Hickory Stick back then or whatever, and cooked with another guy. We partnered up, split everything, basically half down the middle, and he cooked 2 meats. I cooked 2 meats. Did that for about 2 or 3 years, and then last year I went by myself full time. First year, full time. I stayed pretty close to home and did a lot of local stuff last year, and won like a local team of the year championship around here. And I also competed in SLBS and did a few KCBS also.
Nice, man. So what kind of got you into the competition barbecue game? Like, how'd you hear about it?
Judging. I had a friend of mine running a comp maybe 10 miles away from here, and they needed judges for it. And I was like, sure, I'll go eat some, barbecue. So I went
Right.
and judged it, and I walked outside after judging and met the guy that I teamed up with, Todd Schaefer with Hickory Stick, and it was all, it was on from there.
Thousands of dollars down the line. Here we are, man.
Right, and there wasn't much of a backyard scene then, so I was thrown straight into brisket.
So what were your two proteins when you started off? Like, what was the two you focused on?
Well, at first it was just brisket. I cooked brisket for him at Code 3, Collinsville in 19, I think, was my first comp ever. And I ended up cooking brisket in it, and I got like 17th, I think, out of like 40. I don't remember how many teams were there that year, but 17th out of 40 or so teams, and I was hooked since then. But after that, ended up doing ribs and brisket for it.
Ribs and brisket?
Yeah, he was doing chicken and pork.
You kind of backdoored your way into, like, backyard barbecue with only two meats, starting off focus on two proteins and then, work your way through it. Just happen to have a partner doing the other two.
Yeah, just pick the most expensive one to worry about.
Did he pick that, or did you pick it? Or you're like, I'm gonna do brisket?
I don't remember. I think his old partner usually did brisket or whatever, and he wasn't used to cooking it a lot, so he's like, here, try brisket.
Did you start off the gate with Wagyu, or did you?
It was a black.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was a Snake River black.
Hey, that's still better than majority of the briskets out there. But so let's talk about it. Let's say if you're in the great state of Illinois, where like I said, I've done quite a few contests up there. Man, the barbecue game is pretty strong in that state, man. Y'all got some heavy hitters, and
yeah, imagine what we have to deal with week in and week out, man. It's rough around here. There's a lot of good teams.
A lot of good teams. So like, what's your circle whenever you're trying to look for comp? Like, do you do a schedule at the beginning of the year? Or you kind of like me, like whatever you can kind of fit in where you can get in?
I did last year. I had a set schedule beginning of the year. This year, I accomplished a lot of what I wanted to accomplish last year. So this year, I was just like, I'm just going to go compete. We'll just have fun this year. This year, I'm focusing on the team of the year for St. Louis Barbecue Society. So I'm hitting all of those for sure. And then everything else was just up in the air. We have 3 local KCBS comps that are coming up. The first one starting this weekend is Collinsville. So I'm going to hit all those. And I've done a few of the local ones also here and there, but
I got you.
Whatever's convenient. My window is like 3 hours away, basically, is as far as I want to go.
Right. I mean, that's Lord, 3 to 5 hours is about what I, in my area, you kind of have to travel. I'm in the Murfreesboro, Tennessee area now, but so a little closer than a lot of stuff. But it used to be, 3 to 4 or 5 hours. I feel bad for some people out west. They're like averaging their hometown comps like 5 hours away. I'm like, Lord, that's about as far as I want to go. But so are you up in you're northern Illinois, like in the St. Louis?
No, I'm straight east of St. Louis. I'm 30 minutes from St. Louis.
Oh, okay. So you're still in that little, Missouri Mecca.
Yeah, I'm right off 64.
I got you. Well, man, so let's kind of get into it. I mean, I think obviously your name of your team says it all, but what are you cooking with? Like what tell me your barbecue.
We're only cans. Only cans barbecue. I cook on straight Hunsickers, man. I've had a good relationship with Mark and them for a while now, and I've never had any issues cooking on my Hunsickers. They cook consistent for me. I never have to worry about temps fluctuating or anything like that. I've just never had any issues with them. I love cooking on them.
Have you cooked on the other can? Because I've cooked, I think, on every can I can think of. Yeah. And I feel like certain cans fit different people's cooking styles.
Right.
Because Hunsaker guys really are diehard Hunsekers. And then Gateway guys, because they cook differently. Because I tried to cook a Hunsaker on the fly and being used to the Gateway style. And it's definitely a different beast. It's definitely a little learning curve. You mind kind of telling people the difference?
It is, man. I was cooking on basically homemade Gateway style drums before this, and then I had some short rib drum smoker and stuff like that. And I've cooked on gateways before, and it all goes back to how you light your charcoal and your consistency on how you do that. Like, I don't know, I light my charcoal with a chimney basket now, and I pour a red hot chimney basket on top of my charcoal in the drum, and then I leave it open for about 5 minutes until I start seeing flames shoot through the vortex basket, and then I close my lid. I let the temp climb to 300, and then I dial it in to run on the intake, and then a quarter inch open on the exhaust, and it's 300 and stays at 300. I don't ever have to worry about temps the rest of the day. No
Right.
electronics, no nothing, no nothing.
Yeah, that is one thing I like. So, on those, like I said, usually when you set it, it doesn't fluctuate as bad as some of the other ones because I don't know, it's just because it only has two airflow or one airflow intake and one on the top, right? That's all she wrote.
Right, and you're only a half inch probably open on the bottom when you're on run, and quarter inch on the top. It's not a lot of airflow, but it's designed perfectly for that airflow.
Right. I use, it's not Gateway. I use Brockhouse smokers, which are, similar style to the Gateway style with the two exhausts on the side. And I'm always, like I said, you know how it is. Like once you get you're so used to your equipment, I know exactly how much opening I got to do for certain temperatures and certain times. But like I'm not patient like you. I use one of those torch weeders that you do in a can, and I'll just turn the propane on and light that beast up, and I'll have the whole pit going by the time I get rocking.
Yeah, I mean, it takes like 10, 15 minutes for a chimney basket to get going. It's not too bad. I don't mind it. I've lit different ways before, and I always had temp fluctuations where I was trying to get my temp up and stuff like that. But once I went to this consistent way, I have never had any temp issues.
Sure. So we're rocking, like you said, you're straight up and down 300 degrees for most of your proteins for most of the time.
Yeah, right at or under.
With the vortex, do you feel a need for like a water pan or anything like that, or whenever you're doing it, or does that kind of take away from the need?
Right. So I water pan ribs because I'm rotating, every 20 minutes or whatever like that, and then I water pan brisket because I'm moving those also. But I run collars for pork, so I'm not moving those any. I'm just watching the bottoms of them for getting dark or whatever. And chicken, I'm running 8 pieces of chicken, so I don't worry about anything there.
So you're like me, man. You're going bare minimum. Well, yes, you do less than me. I'll do 9. So I have a little more buffer than you on, but still, like most people hear us saying you run 8 or 9 pieces of chicken, and they call you crazy. What do you like, or why'd you go to so few versus most people? I think the common is probably 12 to 16.
Right. Yeah, 12 to 16. Well, when I came out with the fowl form or whatever, I did like tons of trial runs with them, right, where I was cooking 16 at a time, 2 pans or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I had 16 perfect pieces of chicken. Well, how much time are you going to sit there and waste trying to figure out which 6 got to go in the box?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I eliminated that time waste right there, where I'm just going to cook 8 now, and I know which 6. By the time I'm going to sauce them, I know probably in my head which 6 are going in the box.
Right. I got you. Oh, I keep doing that. That's one thing I like about it, because it kind of takes the guesswork out of it. Because I'm sure you're like me. I don't know if you ever watched that TV show, The League. I feel like I ruxin myself. Like I'm over here overthinking stuff, and I'll talk myself out of picking the stuff. And then by the time I look up the clock, I have like 30 seconds to go till I got to turn these things in. So I'm just like dumping chicken in a box and sending that thing.
Right. But, well, I don't taste my chicken until I get back from chicken turning anyways. And that's the only meat I don't taste until afterwards, because I want to see basically where it's at when they're tasting it back there. But it doesn't matter if I don't taste it till afterwards. It doesn't matter what the rest of those extra pieces are.
Right. Absolutely. You brought up foul forms, and that's something I definitely want to talk about with you, because you're certain people who have problems and work their way around problems, and you're the kind of guy, it seems like you saw something that's missing in the barbecue world, and you kind of addressed it by engineering it. Where did kind of the idea of foul forms come from? Because I know a ton of people use them and a ton of people love them.
Well, to tell you the truth, I cooked chicken. I cooked legs before I figured out they came up with the idea for the foul forms, and I was like, man, with legs, I was either hero or zero. I was either first place with a perfect score, or I was getting my ass kicked with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't figure it out. And I was like, man, I really want to cook thighs because I see thighs are consistently in the top 5 all the time. I'm like, but I don't want to spend hours trimming chicken perfectly, every time. So I was like, man, and I didn't like the muffin pan idea. They don't clean up well because my partner that I was cooking with at the time, he used the muffin pans, and they just, after every use or whatever, they just don't clean up well. Even in the dishwasher and stuff, they don't. So I have this brownie pan at home, a copper brownie pan that has got this piece that goes in there that cuts the brownies or whatever. And it was slotted like the foul form was. I'm like, man, if I can create something that can come apart easily and lay flat for shipping and travel purposes and stuff like that. So I just started messing with measurements and sizes, and the guys over at Hunsicker kind of cut some pieces out for me and helped me out on that end with it.
What's your background? Like, do you have like an engineering background, or what is it?
No, I'm just the idea man. I wrote measurements down on paper to fit the half pan or whatever, and I sent them over to those guys, and that they cut it out for me and sent it back, and I did some trial runs and stuff on it, and then we finally got them made in like stainless.
Yeah, like I said, I've had a few pair. We give them out in the show, and like I said, a lot of our viewers and guests, they use them, they love them. What is one thing that you heard or feedback you hear from some of your customers in regards to the foul forms? Because can you tell people kind of like how they're supposed to be using these things? Because I know some people there's mixed messages I've heard on the proper way to use these forms.
Yeah, and anybody that reaches out to me, I usually tell them straight up what I'm doing with them. But I know other guys are successful using them different ways. There's many different uses you can do with them. But I basically start my chicken in the forms with butter in them right off the bat. I rub them. I put my rub on before I put them in the forms. I've made several videos of them and shared them on my social media and stuff of the processes and stuff I do. But the big part is people. Are you leaving them in when you wrap, or are you not? And I'm pulling them out when I wrap. What I found is when you wrap with the forms in there, there's a lot of heat radiating in there, and it's splitting your skins sometimes. So by the time you go to wrap, that chicken's probably already 130, 40, 50 degrees already. It's already formed. So you can afford to take the forms out when you wrap.
Okay. So I get this straight. So you're starting. So you start the chicken in the foul forms in the pan to start off. So you don't set the skins or anything like that on a grate or anything like that.
Nope, they're uncovered in there, and I run them for about a half hour before I cover them, and the rub's set in a half hour on a drum.
So no butter in it, just chicken.
Butter. Yeah, butter goes in right off the bat.
Okay, so you're doing butter right off the bat in the pan, but you're not covering it.
Nope. Wide open for a half hour.
Okay. So you're not essentially braising it. You're kind of. I got you. Because I was always
it's setting it. It's just kind of in the form.
Right. So, where did it kind of to the idea? Were you having issues with your chicken staying? That shape that we all know.
And I hate saran wrap, so I didn't want to have to sit and do the whole saran wrap in each piece or whatever. So I don't do any of that either.
I got you. Because I do the saran wrap thing, and it helps for sure. But like you said, it's definitely a pain in the ass, especially depending on what other stuff you do with it. With that, and then also you have created another product that you want to kind of tell the world about your, what do we call them, the kale forms, or to be determined?
Yeah, I don't know if it's official or not yet. I was calling them the lid flips. Everybody else, since I have the foul forms, are calling them the kale forms.
California lids. That's all.
I do a lot of 3D printing. I've been doing that for a couple of years now. I got bored during winter a few years ago and bought a 3D printer, and now I have 4, and they're running nonstop. But yeah, I was building my boxes ahead of time because I don't feel like spending an hour or more Friday nights at a comp building boxes when I can be out helping people or talking or whatever and doing other stuff. But I make them at home, and I was cutting a standard styrofoam bottom of the box out, basically in the shape of what I made the black piece out of on the kale forms. And I got tired of cutting styrofoam boxes out all the time and having to buy extra styrofoam boxes. I'm like, man, I can figure this out. So I designed it. I had to change the shape and the sizes a couple times to get it right. But yeah, you just pre-build your kale boxes in it and vacuum seal it. The biggest issue some people are having now is they're vacuum sealing it too tight, which common sense will tell you you got to leave some air in there. It's greenery. You got to leave some air in there. You can't take it all out. It's going to die and smell really bad once you open it up.
So bad.
You got to leave some air in it. Yeah, it stinks really bad. But I usually make my boxes Thursday nights when I make my injects. So yeah, Thursday nights are usually injects and then boxes, and they're ready to go.
I got you. So you're doing kale, you said, right? Not parsley.
Yeah, just kale. I can't deal with parsley.
I got you. So all right. So basically, what you're doing, you're making it in a clamshell with the kale. You're building a box essentially in a separate one. You got the lid that you put on top of it, and then
yeah, it's kind of like a press. Everybody calls it a weight, but there's really no weight to it. I use the vacuum seal to kind of use the weight to push down on it.
So when you get to the comp, how you transfer from that to the one provided, or are we doing
you flip it
wizardry?
So usually Saturday mornings, probably as soon as I get chicken injected, I usually try to get my boxes flipped. I don't do it too much ahead of time, but I'll get them out, cut them out of the vacuum seal, set the lid of the turn-in box over the top of it, flip it into the lid of the box, close the box, and then it takes you a couple seconds to tuck the kale in the corners, and you're ready to go.
Okay,
less than 5 minutes.
Dude, I hate kale. Kale is the least favorite part about competition barbecue for me.
Man, I had to use chopped kale this past week, and you should see how nice my boxes were this past week. And that was the first time I used chopped kale with the kale forms before. I wasn't sure how they would flip and how they would turn out, but they were pretty tight boxes for being chopped kale, and I didn't spend a lot of time on them.
Right. I don't know, man. I wish they let you build boxes ahead of time. Everybody bring their own clamshell, and just I don't know how you could cheat with it. It's one of those things.
It's going to get worse because we're not going to be allowed to have styrofoam here anymore.
What's that?
In Illinois, I don't think before long we're going to be able to use styrofoam. They're going to like the paper boxes and stuff.
What? When do they start that? Is that an Illinois?
A lot of the restaurants and stuff are already changing over to it. It's going to be hard to get a hold of like hefty boxes and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
So I wonder if KCBS, because KCBS in the rule book has to be a styrofoam clamshell, correct? I believe so. So
right,
I wonder
if availability is an issue, they're probably going to have to amend that.
That would suck because I've never seen one of those. Whatever the box you're talking about. I've never seen.
I've had to use a paper box before, and imagine trying to wipe sauce off of a paper.
Oh, it's you can't. I mean,
no, it's done for. So that's when we just get rid of the whole appearance scoring or whatever, like down in Texas, and just throw it in a foil pan or something like that, or an empty box.
Yeah, but don't they have smell? Isn't that one of the things in Texas? Isn't it like smell? And I don't know. Smell, taste in it, like that'd be
like a aroma.
Yeah, aroma. Mm-hmm. Like every barbecue smells good, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hashtag save the planet. That's right, Dan. That's right, Dan. The California would be proud of you, man. Well, that's cool, man. So let's talk about your meats. What are we preferencing on, or do you kind of like what's available? Or are you very brand specific?
Man, I'm not brand specific. I do run Springer Mountain Chicken. I'm sponsored by them. I do run. I buy up all the Springer Mountain thighs I can find whenever I go to Fresh Time and just stock up on it so I have it. Ribs, I'm usually Prairie Fresh Naturals. But again, if I find a good marbled rack of ribs somewhere, I'm gonna grab it. And if it's thick enough and straight bones, I'm gonna grab it. Pork, I'm usually the Seaboard collars from Cordy, because I'm like 15 minutes away from Cordy Meats also.
Okay. Man.
So I can go in there and just grab whatever I need from them without making a trip. But I run Prairie Fresh butts, natural butts sometimes too, and just cut the collar off of it if I find them on sale. Um, Brisket right now, I'm running golds.
I got you. So let's talk about like your meat selection. Like when you're going and you're picking your meat for a comp, are you doing it week of, or do you find like some overtime like I do, and then trim it, and then vacuum seal it and freeze it, or are you doing fresh every time?
Um, I'm not fresh. I have a freezer full of meat. I've been trying to get stocked up ahead of time or whatever. And I just before we went on air, I pulled my meat out for Collinsville for this week. It's a Saturday Sunday comp, so usually I would pull out on a Sunday if it's a Saturday comp. But I got to trim brisket usually tomorrow, and then usually brisket and pork. No, brisket and chicken, and then Wednesdays I usually trim pork and ribs, and then like I said, Thursdays usually injects and boxes.
I got you. What like so when you're going to like pick out your chicken, what are you looking for in your chicken? So you cook thighs, like you said. Like, is there a certain weight on the package you're looking for? Are you trying to get like certain weight on your thighs?
Yeah, not specifically each thigh, but when I get the 4 packs of Springer Mountain from Fresh Time or whatever, so I'm looking for at least a 2.1 or 2.2 pound, so I know they're 0.5 at least in my head to begin with. But we all know there's 3 of them in there that are about 6 or 0.6 or whatever, and one of them that's a little guy.
Once a pound point. I've had where it's like once a pound, the rest of them are midgets. I'm like, what is happening on these chickens?
Yeah,
it's like a mama bird and then the babies. I'm like, I can't do this. I've literally like certain times of the year, especially with Springer Mountain. Like I said, I'm sponsored by Springer Mountain as well. So Springer Mountain Farms. I feel like it'll take. I buy them by the case and like I'll burn through the 4 packs, and then sometimes it takes me half a case to get a comp and a half out of them, because like I said, I'm doing 9, and it sometimes takes me a case because I look, they have to be over 8 ounces before I trim. Trim down.
No lie, I will tell you, I pull 2 4-packs out of the freezer to thaw out, and I trim 8 thighs and I cook 8 thighs.
Shit.
Yeah.
I waste so much. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Don't talk to me," because like our trash, dude, our trash smells so bad. So like my wife like limits.
Oh, me too.
Like my wife, so like our trash pickup was Wednesday. So my wife's like, "You have to. Tuesday is the only day you can trim. I'm not allowing you to do it any other day, because if freaking I've literally let it sit there and it bakes in the sun and
yep.
I mean,
my trash stinks so bad.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I've thought about there's like a convenience center that's not too far from our house, and I'm like, you know what? I should throw this crap in the back. In the winter, it's not bad because it stays cold, but in the summer, like freaking throw that thing in the back of my truck and just drive it the next day and drop it off at the convenience center and just piss those people off, because
luckily my trash is on the far side of the garage, so it's out of sight, out of mind usually. But when I walk over there to put trash out or something like that, I'm like, man, what is that?
Maggots everywhere. It's so bad. No, I've thought about setting that shit on fire before. But no, sorry. So we got chicken. How about ribs? Like, so out of the 3 categories of the ribs, you got your thickness, you got your marbling, and you got your bone structure. What is it you're looking for whenever you're picking out a rack of ribs when you go to Cordy Meats?
Well, in order, see, the hard part about picking out at Cordy is they're usually frozen, so it's really hard sometimes to see what you're looking at. It's like bone straightness and marbling wise, because they're just frozen solid. But if I'm looking at them somewhere else, I'm looking at marbling before I pick it up. When I pick it up, I'm looking at the weight, if it's 4 pounds, around that weight or whatever, and then I'm looking for the straight bones in the backside.
I got you. Man, have you ever cooked? So you're in Illinois, you probably can get them in your grocery store. Have you ever tried the Wichita's?
No, they're not around this area. I have cooked them before because I'm good friends with Brian Dwyer of Barbecue Bus, and he cooks those. And we cooked them at Murfreesboro last year, and they were really good.
Dude, their marbling is always perfect. They guaranteed never have a shiner. The hardest thing about
they remind me of Allegiance.
Allegiance are fat though. Every one I see the Allegiance, they're always super thick and like super fatty. Like the Wichita's I've gotten, I got some thin ones, and I don't know if it's just the bad batch I had or whatnot, but some of the ones I ordered, like they're thin, and I'm like, and there's a certain way like that. Not all ribs, as we all know, not all ribs cook the same, right?
Yeah.
You have to do different things and to different ones, and that's why it's better to stay with your own kind of lane. But when I cooked the Wichita, like they would dry out and get tougher than shoe leather on me. And, I blame 99% of that on me and 1% on the ribs. But I don't know. But the ones I know that cook it, like Weeze and Brian and some of the other guys that cook the Wichitas, like, man, they always look so good. But I always try to stick with the Prairie Fresh myself.
I love Prairie Fresh. They do a lot for us comp teams and stuff like that. So I always try to run them.
Well, and they're everywhere around here, at least. I can find Prairie Fresh, whereas Wichita, I'd have to order them specifically just for that. And it's just, I get nervous on it. But yeah, so you got the ribs. So you're looking for, so you're saying you're mainly looking for like the thickness whenever you're looking for a rib, like the weight?
Yeah. 4 pounds and up, and you're usually pretty good if they're pre-cut, St. Louis styles. And unless there's a lot of, flat meat on the back.
Right. Are you busting them down to like 8 bones or 9 bones, or what? How many bones are you working with?
I'm 9, depending on what it looks like and like what the bones are doing. Sometimes I'll go 8 if that's what it wants me to do to it.
I got you. I thought, based on your chicken, I thought maybe you're going with like 6 bone ribs. Like this is, I only cook what I need because you only cook eight pieces of chicken. I'm like, maybe you should cook 7 bones.
Oh, I've been back and forth between cooking 3 racks instead of 4, but man, every time I cook 4, one of them's always jump. One of them never makes it to the finish line. It either leaks and I have no,
that sucks.
No wrap left in it, or it's just one of them just never gets sliced. So it's like, man, I might as well just go to 3. But then I go to 3, and then, well, what if you lose 1? So then you only have 2.
Yeah, but are you like me? Like I found most of the time I get majority of all my ribs off of 1 rack.
I like to put 4 or 5 from 1 rack in the box. That's the goal every time. But man, it's tough. Those thinner ones down towards the other end, they just have a different texture to them.
I got you. What is your ideal rib box? Are you stacking 4-4, or are you doing some of the other funky combinations now?
Man, it trends, man. Last year I would have told you I would have done the 4 across and then 2 in the front like this. But this year I've been hitting 4 and 4, and it hasn't completely failed me yet, so I haven't strayed away from it yet, except for DAL ribs this past weekend. But I'm not too worried about that.
Do you think it matters, honest to God, like what you put in your design in a box? I know the judges will say no, whatever. But do you think that certain judges have certain preferences?
I don't know if it's preferences or not, but I don't know. I don't know. I have weird opinions about some of that sometimes.
Well, it's like, when you're cooking like the ribs, a popular thing sometimes I see a lot of people do is, 5 across and the show rib on the bottom. Whenever
Right.
that's when your ribs got screwed up and you're literally trying to just salvage a box. But some people I see that turn it sideways, and show the meat side or the side up. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm very opinionated, and don't listen to me, listen to the judges because they know more than I do. But I
don't agree with the whole if you have minimal in the box, they automatically go to their cook got screwed up. Man, what if they just are so confident in what they had to put in there that's all they wanted to give you, I don't know.
It's I don't know, man. How we are in competition barbecue. We have opinions, and majority of them are stupid and aren't true at all. But in our head, it totally makes sense. What I mean? It's like I have to do this. If I don't do a Salt Bay my ribs, then they're not good, or just something just idiotic. I think we overthink of it. Like I always because you said you judge. I always want to think man, do the judge understand the amount of stupid time we put into this meat that is in front of their faces?
They don't.
They think they're at a Famous Dave's and just here's a rack of ribs, enjoy.
They don't. And this past weekend, I did the whole try to take the one bone out of the wings concept or whatever, and that completely flopped on me. I'll probably never do that again. Wings
are one of those home run hitters. I had a friend friend of mine was asking me about, doing wings in a box. And I told him, I said, everybody, I've never done them personally, but everybody I hear of that do the wings, it's either you hit a home run and you get top 5 or you're bottom 5. There's no
Right.
There's no middle of the road there. Why do you think that is? Do you think the judges is kind of like when legs come
I
out?
I have a theory. I have a theory.
Please share.
So we cook wings a lot around here because the local comps we do are meat provided. So they give us wings instead of thighs because people's choice and stuff like that. So it's easier to hand out wings. So we're used to cooking wings. I'm very confident in the wings that I turn, and I won chicken team of the year last year over here cooking wings. So my whole thing was, how does a judge bite into a wing? Do they bust it open like we eat chicken wings at, Buffalo Wild Wings, or did they go in and take a bite off of 2 freaking bones? So that's a huge factor on how they're judging that, on how you want to cook it. So that's why this past weekend I tried taking that bone out, or that small bone out, so they had, basically a thigh bite.
Right.
The problem that caused was by taking that bone out, it took some of the moisture out with it. So I tried some of them that I left the bone in, and they were juicy as hell, man. But then we tried the ones that we took the bone out, 10 minutes later, and they dried up a little bit. That pulling that bone out pulled that moisture out that was holding in there,
Mm-hmm.
And it just took some of the structure away from it.
I mean, there's only one correct way to eat a flat, and that's take it and you push it all down, and then you just gobble that thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm a bust it at the one end, pull the bone out, and then pull it all off.
Push it, suck it. That's what I'm saying.
But you can't. I mean, there's no way 6 judges are doing it the same back there.
I know, and the average age for a judge is like 75, so they're probably not familiar with the proper etiquette of Buffalo Wild Wings to eat a flat.
So I think me pulling the bone out of it kind of confused them this past weekend, and I got beat up. They called them overdone and overcooked. I'm like, yeah, I get it. They were kind of falling apart because I took the structure of the bone out of it.
Right. We had some judges on the show before, and they said the same thing. The main thing about wings is they don't know what to do with it sometimes, because they don't know that to take the big bite, or you do, like, there's so many different ways that you can do it. And if you push down on it, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of like clean bite, because at that point it's just, you're just eating a wing. So
right, it's not a consistent bite to throw across the board. So like you said, it's either going to be a home run or it's going to be a huge miss.
Absolutely. No, that's just what they are, man. If you're hitting it, you're top 5. If you miss it, you're bottom 5. There's no in between.
Yeah. Somebody asked if I inject wings.
Inject wings. Yeah. TNS.
I brine 2 or 3 hours the night before, put them in a pan, let them air dry overnight, and then I inject, the morning of at about 8 o'clock. But I just give them one little pump down the middle of the bones, just one little 4, whatever the 4 setting it is on the injector.
Mm. Do you have talking about your chicken, is there a certain injections you lean towards more than the other? There's a lot of great ones on the market. I personally, we're team barbecue bus all the way, and
yep.
I love Peep Show. It's my favorite injection and brine on the market. But do you have a preference when it comes to that?
Oh yeah, I'm Team Barbecue Bus, sponsored by Brian Dwyer as well, and Peep Show. I brine and inject with it.
Yeah, dude, that stuff that he does, it's out of the park for sure, and I've definitely turned a lot of people onto it. In this area for sure. So we got the chicken. Let's move on to pork. So like when you're looking at, you're cooking just collars, or are you cooking just monies, or what are you cooking?
I'm cooking 4 to 5 collars right now.
Yeah, 4 to 5 collars right now.
Yeah.
Damn, how in the hell are you fitting 5 collars on a can?
Very, very aggressive trend.
Okay, so you're leaning just a little dang. So you got pretty much the monies and then a little dangly. Are you cooking, like, are you doing bacon, or what are you doing?
Yeah, see that's why I'm cooking them the way I am, because I'm very high on bacon right now. That's why I cook 5, so I can get enough bacon.
I need to do a damn class on just how to get bacon, because I tried to do bacon multiple times, and I
refuse to turn tubes in anymore, because every time I did, I got killed on them. And as soon as I went to just putting in a good pile of bacon and some other stuff mixed in with it other than tubes, my pork has turned around big time.
Do you think So like a lot of times I'll just do monies, or I'll do monies and then I'll chunk up some monies. So I'll do uh uh oh what am I do? I do money muscle line, and then I'll do some chunk, then in the middle, then a money muscle line. Do you feel like cooking pro, the level you're on, do you feel like you need to offer, the judges want to see a larger offering of pork, or do you think you're going straight monies? Or because I mean monies win too.
I'm very traditional when it comes to box layouts. So especially for pork, because I didn't cook a lot of pork right off the bat. My partner was the one that cooked pork. So last year was the first time I was cooking pork consistently. So I wanted to put a pile of pulled and then a row of money muscle, and I stick to that pretty consistently. Sometimes I get a little in my head. I'm like, man, I should put some chunks in here. I have 2 good money muscles, and I usually just talk myself out of it and just leave my standard in there.
Right.
I hate throwing an extra option in there sometimes, because then if it goes wrong, you don't know what went.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, let's kind of shift the conversation a little bit. Let's talk about something. When we were talking about, contests earlier in the show, and how, you used to set your range, within like a 3 hour. What has been some of your favorite contests you've been to? Like, what is something that kind of stands out in your head, and what's one that you kind of on your bucket list to go to? If you're going to go, are you chasing money? Are you chasing trophies? Are you chasing location? Like, what's on the top of the charts for Ryan?
Definitely a trophy chaser. Last year, I got my first apple from Murfreesboro thanks to the barbecue bus. We cooked that together last year. I mean, if I'm traveling, the payout's got to be worth it. We can't pay $150 to win brisket or something like that. But contest wise, man, to sit here and think about it, I've hit in the last 4 to 5 years. I've basically competed in or been at all the big ones. So I did the KCBS Invitational back in 20 or 21. Did the Royal 2 years ago. We got 12th place chicken and 13th place ribs at the Royal Invitational 2 years ago.
There you go.
We cooked the Jack the same year, just weeks after going to the Royal. We went about mid pack there. That's a different ball game there, but atmosphere wise, that's the one everybody wants to go to just to have that feeling of being there, man. It was crazy. And then Memphis in May this past year with Heath Riles, that was a different experience also, to be in all there. So the only big championship I haven't hit yet is Texas, one of those.
I got you. Who drank more beers down in Memphis in May? Was it Bobby T or was it Heath?
Bobby T, I don't know. Bobby T was he was pretty good the whole time. He was cooking pizzas and stuff for us the whole time.
Dude, his pizza's so good. When
They were.
He comes up to deer camp every year and hunts with us, and so like when he comes down, man, I got an alpha oven just for him to cook pizzas down at the deer camp. His pizzas are out of this world.
Yeah, he was kicking food out all weekend. It was great.
Dude, did he bring that Bloody Mary mix that he's sponsored by, the Bloody Revolution?
I think there were some Bloody Marys. I don't drink them, so I don't know. There was some Bloody Marys there though.
Dude, I'm not. I like Bloody. I used to not like Bloody Marys, but I like them now. But dude, that Bloody Revolution that he sponsored. Oh my god, so good, so good, so good. It's got pickle. They have a steak one and a pickle one. If you mix them together, it's chef's kiss. I know it sounds weird, but it's the bee's knees. But all right, so we're talking like some of my favorite ones, and they don't have it no more. Illinois has lost some fantastic contests here in the last couple of years. Like I used to love the Effingham Jam.
So funny story about that is our buddy.
You got the butcher block.
Yeah, here, hold on. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can rotate my screen or not right now. How do I do that while I'm on here? So I RGC'd a comp last year up in Newton, Illinois, and the comp that this one was, they took over the butcher block sponsorship or whatever. So I have like the 18 by 18 butcher block sitting right here.
Oh, really? You got, so I need to figure out which one it was, because I used to love going to the Effingham Jam, and they put on a hell of a festival. And they had a hell of a pizza joint, Italian joint down there in Effingham, Illinois.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, man. Those are so cool. Yeah, that was so cool.
BBQ pumpkin.
And then I miss smoking for Garrett. That's another one that I'll sad.
Yeah, I did that 2 years also, and I got a medal from that one. That was like my first KCBS brisket call, I think.
Yeah, that was one of my first contests I did. One of my first years was smoking for Garrett. That was a cool. I love the shutdown downtown. I'll tell you another one you need to check out is the Blooming Barbecue Festival down there in Sevierville, Tennessee. That's another really, really great one you should check out. They do like custom made bowls and stuff. Yeah. Highly, highly, highly recommend that one. But that's one thing. I'm like you, man. Like money's great, and I love money, but I love getting cool trophies. Like if you got a cool trophy, I'll almost give you a pass on like the payout because
the BBQ trophies are really sweet, man. We went down there. A few of us teamed up a couple of years ago and went down there and made some noise. We ended up going perfect and chicken, and then I got a brisket 9th place call, and I think we went 4th overall down there and got a few trophies out of it. It was those trophies are badass.
Oh yeah, for sure. What is something that you've learned during the time you're cooking that is kind of that's somebody that's a newer team? What is something you could tell somebody to kind of help level them up? Is it just repetition, or is it trying to find the flavor profiles you're after and trying to stick with it, or what's something kind of advice you could give to some of the newer teams?
Figure out something that works, and then if it doesn't hit the next time, don't change it. There's so many factors that goes into what we're turning in each comp. You're never going to hit the same table of judges. Even if you do hit the same table of judges, they're not going to realize it was the same piece of chicken you gave them 2 weeks ago. It's just I've seen it happen, and it's night and day difference on the same piece of meat that gets scored. It's crazy, but just don't make quick adjustments like that and just toss your whole recipe out the window because something didn't score 1 week.
Yeah,
I've been hammering the same recipes out for about a year and a half. I make small adjustments, but none of it's scrap the recipe,
What is something on your recipes that you do that you'll change more frequently than others? Like mine, for me, is like finishing dust. Like I'll tweak my finishing dust. And
yeah, I don't ever trust my finishing dust is where it needs to be. I guess I don't know if it's too salty, too sweet, or too. I'm never happy with it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
but I always have salt ready to go with me. At finish time also in case something does need more salt. I always just have salt sitting there.
I got you. Well, man, I guess, like I said, I know you got to go here early night, so I won't keep you too long. But, man, this is the time of show that I want to it's the lightning round brought to you by Brothers Q Barbecue Spot. Like I said, check out Brothers Barbecue Barbecue Supply for all your barbecue needs, man. I am losing my my hosting voice. Man, Ryan, you've seen the show. Like I said, this is the time where I'm going to ask you just a few random questions. Don't think too hard, little one-liners. You ready to roll?
Yep.
All right, man. If you could do a meat Everest, man, of a meat Rushmore, who's going to be on your mountain?
Man, I've actually sat and thought about this one because from watching this show, and I want to be a little bit different than what everybody else is. So I got into barbecue by watching Pitmasters, man. I don't know who's doing it that hasn't, unless they're like 20 years old. But Myron Mixon is up there to start with. A big one for me is Robbie Royal. Watching his stuff on that show made me wanted me to have my stuff look like his boxes when he turned them in. He was who I wanted to have my boxes look like. After that, of the newer generation of guys like Keith Riles, he's on it with his social media presence, his products and stuff he has out there, and he's still going out and whooping ass in contests and stuff like that. He's definitely on that list. Tuffy Stone is one of the nicest. Yeah, he's one of the nicest guys. I've sat and talked to him several times at some of those big comps, and he's definitely got to be on that list. That's 4, and I'm from I'm from Illinois, so Mike Mills has to be on that list also.
Not a bet. I'm glad you brought that up. So I'm sure you're like me, being a barbecue cook. You don't like eating barbecue, but you're going to go out and eat a plate of barbecue in the state of Illinois. What restaurant are you going to?
Ooh, I don't know if I'd stay in Illinois, but I go to Sugar Fire a lot. I'm pretty normal when it comes to barbecue, but I go to Sugar Fire because the daughter always wants to go there. But we go over to Heavy Smoke sometimes, and there's not a lot of them really close to here. But we got Beast Crap out in Belleville is one of our favorites also.
I got you. Have you ever been to 17th Street?
Oh yeah. We eat, when we're down at Murfreesboro, I usually eat there about 3 times that weekend.
Nice. If you could do a top 3 barbecue sides, like if you're gonna lay down some food and you're gonna impress your friends, we all know that a lot of people can cook meat. A lot of people can cook meat, but we all know as barbecue cooks that sides are where it's at. Give me your 3 sides if you're trying to lay it down and like make people talk about you.
Beans has to be number one, and I'm picky about beans. I'm already starting to work on our beans for the Royal that we're gonna turn in later this year. I'm not a huge slaw fan when it comes to just slaw, but when it comes to eating barbecue, slaw is a must. If I'm going to eat a pulled pork sandwich or something like that, it's going to have slaw on it. It's going to have a mustard sauce on it. So
So
slaw is a big thing for me. It's got to be one of the sides. That's two.
Yeah, give me one more. I mean, that's some basic ones you can find at everyone. What's one that if you're gonna lay
you
it
would
down?
you would think I would go with macaroni or something like that, but I'm going to say street corn, man. If you're going to do it right, let's get creative and do a street corn.
I do like a shaved street corn salad. I got like a street corn fiesta salad, and that's always a huge hit because I feel like with barbecue, it's so heavy, and
Yeah.
most of the sides that you're going to get at barbecue meals are super heavy. I like going a little lighter side on the sides. Like I said, a little street corn salad, a light, nice, like I said, vinegar slaw. I like vinegar slaw. I'm not a mayonnaise slaw guy. I don't know about you. Team vinegar, team mayonnaise.
I like both, depending on how and what I'm eating them with.
I got you.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's got to match.
I got you. All right, man. What is one thing in competition barbecue, like where it's like a process or a tool or something like that you think is overrated, and what's one that's underrated?
The foul form.
Is it overrated? Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah, it's overrated,
like,
man.
like it's a gimmick. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
we've sold over 1,000 of them, but I don't know. Overrated. I don't know. I see. Everything has it. I'm the kind of guy that I'm never going to trash somebody's stuff. Everything has its use for somebody that needs that use for it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But somebody can get a use out of it. It'll help somebody. Everybody's experience level is different, so everybody's need for a tool is different. So I don't know.
How about underrated? What's something that that you all you use? Foul form. There you go.
Yeah, underrated. I don't think it gets enough attention for what it's doing right now. Like I said, there's over 1,000 of them out there right now, and we started a page, for the guys that use the foul form, and there's not a lot of guys talking about it, but I know they're using them. So I don't know if it's just because I'm not a big name, one of those big name guys that I don't know. It's just not getting pushed the way it should.
Yeah, muffin pans. That was gonna be mine. Overrated. I don't want a muffin. I don't want the muffin pan chicken. I don't know how that started. But
Myron.
I know that's all I call him. He's a muffin man. That's
the Myron pan.
The Myron pan. That's the muffin pan. All right, man. If you could change one thing about competition barbecue and swap it out with something else, what would you do?
The cost.
The cost, make it cheaper.
I mean, if that works, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah. So, they need to find entry fees need to go down, and I get it. The comps need to make their money and stuff back too, but we're putting way more into it than what we should.
Sure. If you could improve one thing about, if say you're Rob Gray for a day, what would you change? What's one thing you would change about competition barbecue besides, like you said the cost, but what is one thing you wish you could change if you could wave a magic wand and automatically?
I don't know. It wouldn't be taking any of the meats out. I think you change the game too much if you change the meats out. I'm a very traditional kind of person when it comes to what meats we're cooking, I guess. And I know a lot of guys aren't going to want to hear this, but to keep these events going, we need to have crowds there, and to have crowds there, we need to be giving out people's choice meat and stuff like that. So I know I cook by myself, so I know for a fact it's hard to cook extra meat and stuff like that for people's choice and hand it out. But I think to keep some of these events going, we need to find a way to do stuff like that.
Right. What is make Wagyu illegal, cook primes at best? I mean, I don't know, man. I that's not a terrible idea. One of like the TNS barbecue, he was saying,
Just how do you regulate that though?
I know because they try that in steak, and then I've heard many stories of people bringing in their own Wagyu ribeye. I'm like, that's just if you get a cheat at a cooking competition, to me, like why even come? Because
that's why it's so fun about the meat provided comps over here is everybody's on the same playing field. Yeah, somebody's gonna get a shit rack of ribs, but you just cook it.
But how many people though freaking have a rack of ribs hidden in a cooler somewhere? You know what I mean?
Right.
For me, the one thing I think I would get rid of is meat check. Like,
I mean, when was the last time somebody actually checked your meat for seasoning and stuff on
it? It doesn't. They just want to see it's in a cooler, and who's not going to
temp wise? Yeah, they're just checking temp.
But I don't understand it. That's the dumbest thing in the world to me.
It is. They're just going through the motions anymore with meat checks. They're just checking for temp and stuff like that. You could have had it brined and injected it. They would never know.
Which it doesn't give you any
no, because like we all know,
how are you going to cheat? I don't know how you could cheat.
Right.
I've actually sat down and thought about like if I was going to cheat,
what advantage could you gain?
And besides like stealing meat from another team, I don't know what I could do. What was I? All right. So a last question. It's a question I always ask everybody. What is one thing you always have in your trailer, and you can't say your meat thermometer?
Let's see. At least 5 rolls of paper towels.
At least, because I'm a messy
boy. To start a comp, I have to make sure I've got 5 rolls of paper towels. And I usually go through all 5 rolls of them, depending on how messy I am.
Yeah. I know I said that was the last question, but I lied. It's my show, so I can do it. All right, man. So I got to ask you this because you are Only Cans competition team. If you had an Only Cans account name, what would it be?
I think it would just be, I don't know, Only Cans or I even thought about that. I don't know.
Wait, I thought about that when I was having you on today. I was like, what, like, if Only Cans was like OnlyFans, what would it be? I don't know if it'd be like Can Stuffer 29.
Yeah, because I thought about like naming my Hunsikers different names like related to that, and I got stumped with it also.
All right, man. Like I said, I'm a liar, so I have one more question for you. If you're gonna have a theme song, like when you're walking up to win an award, what song will they play?
Oh man, that one's tough too because it changes all the time depending on what mood I'm in.
Well, what mood are you in now, man? That's what I want to know.
I listen to a lot of NF, so anything NF is usually what I turn it. Or Richmond, North of Richmond, was my walk-up song several times also.
Dude, this new song is nice.
Yeah, that one, it's gonna get replaced with that one.
Scornful Woman, dude, that's a banger. So you guys, if you guys haven't heard that, man, definitely check that out because she's a bitch. But no, man. But hey, Ryan, thank you so much for coming on the show, dude. I truly appreciate it. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time.
Anytime, man.
This is the time of show where I want you to give shout outs and let people know where to find you, let them know about your products. You have anything coming up, and also shout out to your sponsors because as we all know, life is harder unless you have great sponsors in this game. So take it away.
Yeah. I've got a good little list of sponsors that help me out a lot. Team Smoke Ring Barbecue Supply over in St. Peters, Missouri. They help us out a lot. We have classes and stuff there all the time. Heath Riles Barbecue really upped my game this year, having those guys behind me. Barbecue Bus, Peep Show.
Shout out Brian.
FTW Brisket Rub. Boards, I always use as boards. JDQ, and then Springer Mountain Chicken.
Springer Mountain Farms, man. Check out Springer Mountain Farms.
Yep, you can find me. I'm on Facebook. You can use my personal site. You can use my personal page or Only Cans, and then I'm also on Instagram. And
that's Cans with a C, not F. Just only Cans.
Yeah, and then I've got a TikTok also, just under my name that I throw videos, barbecue videos and stuff on also.
Awesome, man. Dude, I saw you got caught in the rain the last comp, man. I hope this contest coming up, you're gonna have some better weather, man. Hope it doesn't
Yeah,
take
we
a
got
shit.
about three inches in about an hour last weekend.
I hate the rain, man. This year's been nothing but this is the year of the rain.
Yep.
Every damn contest it's rained at some point, and there's nothing better than cooking in the middle of summer and 110% humidity, and just your shirt just automatically just sticks to your body. It always makes all your barbecues taste so much better. But maybe it's just a fat boy in me. Maybe it's just like a large man syndrome that I had to look at. But
hey, I was 400 pounds 2 years ago, and this time of the year was killing me. So it's a lot better now.
Well, congratulations, man. That's awesome. Big shout out.
It feels great.
I bet, dude. I mean, you lost a person. I mean, I'm down 50, and I'm trying to continue that. But man, that's inspirational, and that's congratulations, man, for sure.
Thank you.
But all right, man. Well, that's all we have, and man, I will hopefully see you out on the circuit, and I truly appreciate you coming on, and look forward to see Fowl Forms. You can get Fowl Forms, through him, or I know Mr. Brisket sells you guys.
Yep, the Smoke Ring's got the Fowl Forms, and then for the Kale Forms, just message me for the Kale Forms.
Right, absolutely, man. Well, check them out, and Ryan, thank you again so much. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, man, that's our show, dude. I 2-inch army. I truly appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Like you said, just me chilling by myself. Urkel, I do apologize out there. Like you said, I get your name better, and like I said, you're definitely missing the community. And shout out, Theo Huxtable. Sad to see you go as well. But man, that's our show today. We're gonna have a great show coming back for you next week. Make sure you tune in, and do me a favor, guys. Like I said, I always say at all the shows, please, if you like what you hear and like what you see, I know you like what you see. Give us a shout out. Share us, like us, follow us, subscribe to us. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your girlfriend, tell your side chick. We love everybody. We are non-judgmental. We love everybody here. So please just give us a shout and give us a follow, man. So, but yeah, man, that's our show tonight. Truly appreciate it. And as always, when it comes to barbecue, make sure you're always right on cue. See you guys.
That's all, folks.